usually established by station normally, and then house water. But I think to Senator
Working on the budget and avoid a shutdown. So that remains my top priority. We will start voting very soon. So I want to be here and address all of you, tell you a little bit about this exciting moment. But at the same time, I'm also very, very focused on the government shutdown and avoiding a government shutdown so our constituents can get the services that they need. So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and distinguished members of Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, and Jain communities, thank you for being here today. I am profoundly honored to stand before you at this pivotal juncture. We are not merely congregating to initiate another caucus. We are assembling to pioneer a movement, one that strives for understanding, inclusion, and affirmative policy actions. A movement that says every faith, every culture, and every community has a place in America, the land of free and the home of the brave. My name is Shri Thanedar. I am a proof of America's diversity in Congress. I'm an immigrant of this country, born in Belgaum, Karnataka, India. My parents worked hard to provide for my siblings and I, and it's such an honor for me to serve my constituents, Detroit and the Michigan's 13th Congressional District in United States Congress. Today is significant for numerous reasons. To many of you, the launch of Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, and Jain American Congressional Caucus may seem like a formal procedure, but let me assure you, it is so much more. It is a statement of commitment, a commitment to stand against religious discrimination, to propel the wheels of inclusion, and to cultivate a nation where diversity is not just tolerated, but celebrated. This caucus will create a platform to have the discourse engage in action, dispel the misinformation and disinformation of our culture and society, to express religious freedom and protect our existence and speak the truth about who we are by pushing back on hate and bigotry. To comprehend the urgency of the need of this caucus, it's important to put some numbers into context. We are not talking about abstract communities or conceptual problems. These are real issues affecting real people, our friends, neighbors, and constituents. The movement is having, today I'm so proud to say, the first Sikh person presented a prayer in the House chamber. I'm just so excited this morning to hear Granthi Jaswinder Singh stood proudly to pray in this body. Across approximately 3 million Hindus, 1.2 million Buddhists, 500,000 Sikhs, and 200,000 Jains enrich our nation's cultural and spiritual life. About 1,000 Hindu temples, 1,000 Buddhist temples, 800 Sikh gurudwaras, and 100 Jain temples are spread across America, acting as centers for community development, philanthropy, and spiritual well-being. So when we speak about these communities, we are speaking about a substantial portion of our nation's populace, a segment that contributes significantly to the American fabric, yet often remains underrepresented and misunderstood. Now, allow me to bring your attention to some unsettling statistics that underscore why this caucus is not just important, but absolutely essential. One of our 3 high school students have faced bullying due to their religious beliefs. This is not a statistics that we can afford to ignore. It is a clarion call for action. A 2022 report goes further to expose the depth of this issue. It reveals that over 50% of Sikh children have been bullied, and children who wear turbans are bullied at a rate more than double the national average. These numbers are not just statistics. They are stories of suffering that manifest in the lived experiences of our children and our future. We can do better. We must do better. Let us turn our attention to the personal stories that make these statistics all the more heartbreaking. Earlier this year, a 23-year-old Indian student named Janavi Kandula was struck and killed in Seattle by a speeding police car. The officer said her life had limited value. These are not isolated incidents, but patterns that reveal a worrying trend. Until as recently as 2015, the Federal Bureau of Investigation did not even collect information on hate crimes specifically targeting Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, and Jain communities. This void in data collection and policy focus is not just an oversight, but a glaring example of systemic neglect. Now, how do we address these glaring gaps? The Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, and Jain American Congressional Caucus aims to fulfill 4 fundamental objectives: combating religious discrimination, the pervasive stereotyping and prejudices that lead to marginalization and violence must be tackled head on. Accurate representation and inclusion, a policy only as good as the perspective it encompasses. The views of Hindu, Buddhist, Sikh, and Jain Americans must be integral to our policy conversation. Addressing cultural misunderstandings. It is not enough to coexist. We need to understand and appreciate each other through interfaith dialogue, community events, and educational programs. We can foster better understanding and harmony. Empowerment and well-being. From educational opportunities to economic initiatives, this caucus will work to ensure that our communities not only survive but thrive. I now extend an invitation to each one of you here beyond the halls of Congress. This caucus is an open platform free from fees, registration, or attendance requirement. Your participation, I'm asking Congress members, both sides, Republicans and Democrats, to join this effort, join this caucus. I am so proud to say that 25 other congressional members, both sides, Republicans, Democrats, have agreed to become member of this caucus. And we will continue to ask for more members to join this caucus. But just in a few short days, we have gotten a tremendous response, and that shows how my colleagues, the members of Congress, are focused on religious freedom and freedom for a person to practice his or her own religion in a free atmosphere. Let this caucus be more than a momentary event. Let it be the beginning of a comprehensive movement, a movement aimed at molding an America where every citizen, regardless of their faith or cultural background, is recognized, valued, and empowered. I invite each of you to be part of this monumental effort. Together, we can shape a nation that stands true to its core values: values of liberty, equality, and justice for all. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your commitment and your dedication to building a more inclusive America. Please forgive me as I need to head to the House to make sure I don't miss a vote and we continue this government and we don't allow the other side to shut this down. We want our services, our government to continue, and that's what my focus is today. But I wanted to come here and ensure that we establish a religious freedom for all. Thank you.